Good morning, students. So, we have actually completed a very important chapter, that was haloalkanes. I'm confident that you'll be able to understand through the videos. But if you have any query or any doubt, just go through the whole chapter. Just you can revert back to me on my WhatsApp, or we are planning to have a doubt clearing session. So you can just wait for that. I'll let you know the time and date. So we will be doing it on that day, right? I'm coming to the notes that you have to prepare. The notes, I have clicked some pictures of the pages till method of preparation, and I have sent you on WhatsApp. If you find that there is something extra in the video, please do make sure that you see the video and simultaneously see those pages and then make the notes, because it was not able to click the whole chapter, all the pages from Pradeep. So what I have taught you something extra, and moreover I have clicked the summary of it and then given it to you, right? So make sure you combine both of these things and then you prepare the notes and then revise all the reactions so that you are very confident in doing the conversions. The named reactions are important. It can be asked straight away also, and you can also, and they will also be used in the conversions that we are going to do, right? So just we'll have a brief summary of the chapter, and then we will just make sure that we start the second chapter, that is alcohol, phenol and ether, right? So the polyhalogen compounds, that is in the last of the chapter, haloalkanes, is eliminated, so we are not going to do that. So coming to the second chapter, alcohol, phenol and ether, we will also do it again the same way, the way we did the first chapter, that we will do method of preparation, we will do the nomenclature, the physical and chemical properties, and then we will come back to the phenol also will do the same way, and then ether also will do the same way, right? So we'll start on with the chapter alcohol, phenol and ether. Alcohol, phenol and ether. So there are basically three components that we have to study in this chapter: alcohol, phenol and ether. But before we start with this chapter, a brief review of what we have already done. If you remember, we started with the classification of haloalkanes, the different type of haloalkanes and haloarenes. Secondly, we moved on to the nomenclature and the rules which we follow in writing the IUPAC nomenclature, right? Then we went on to method of preparation of haloalkanes and haloarenes, and the method of preparation, all the reasoning part, that why this reagent is preferred, why we use diether as reagent, all such reasoning questions are very important. So what you need to do when you prepare notes, you need to underline and highlight all those reasoning questions, right? Second thing that is very important is, in method of preparation, you should basically know which is the best method, which is any reaction which has got a name. So please learn the reagents very properly for a name reaction. That is very important. Then coming on to method of preparation, then we studied about physical properties. Physical properties, when we say melting point, boiling point, solubility, there are few general rules, isn't it? So make sure you know the general rules for deciding the melting point, the boiling point and the solubility. Because all the chapters, the basic rules will always remain the same. Then comes the chemical properties, which was the most important. We studied three classes of reaction, if you remember: nucleophilic reactions, addition of different nucleophiles, and then we also read how do we add ambident nucleophiles. Very important, so just be thorough with it. How do we replace the haloalkane by different nucleophiles? That is very important. Then we read two rules. One was Markovnikov addition for adding things. One was taking out Setcheff's rule. Don't get confused. Markovnikov rule is for adding things. There was one more rule, Kharash effect or NP-Markovnikov rule. If you remember, that was only for HBr. So whenever you read a reaction, you have to keep your mind, you have to be very vigilant enough and keep reminding your mind that we add HBr like this, we add HCl like this. Keep on reminding, keep on telling it to yourself. So that will actually keep in your mind all the reactions fresh. So we read about Kharash effect, Sedgwick's rule, Markovnikov's addition. Then we moved on to elimination reaction, dehydrohalogenation. In that we read Sedgwick's rule. Then we came to reaction with metals, isn't it? And then in that we had a very important class of compounds, organometallic compounds and Grignard reagent. So why Grignard reagent is used in ethereal medium, what are the different reactions, just revise. Then we moved on to reactivity of haloarenes and haloalkanes. So we came to know that haloarenes are less reactive. What were the reasons? There were 4-5 points discussed, so you have to write it and then elaborate each one of them. Then came, after that we talked about nucleophilic reactions in haloarenes. There was only one reaction, that was Dow's process, right? Then we moved on to electrophilic reactions. There were 5 important electrophilic reactions. Then the last part of the chapter was stereochemistry. In stereochemistry, you have to know exactly what we mean by plane polarized light, what are enantiomers, what are diastereomers. They can be straight away asked, or you can be given a set of example to know which is a enantiomer, which is a diastereomer, like that. So what you have to do is, you have to practice writing few structures from your NCERT book also. And start doing the NCERT exercises. You will do all the questions of NCERT and don't leave any question. It will just make you practice once again. So prepare the notes to NCERT question. I am very confident that you will be thorough with all the reactions. Then if at all you come across any doubt, let me know your doubt, or we can have a doubt clearing session. I'll let you know the date and timing, and so we'll do that. So that was all about haloalkanes and haloarenes. Now the second chapter, that is alcohol, phenol and ether. Same guidelines we are going to do the chapter. Method of preparation. The first we do start with classification and nomenclature, and where we use this. There are actually many compounds of alcohol, phenol that are used as an antiseptic. Very important class of compound. So that is the reason we will just read the utility, then come to classification of these compounds, how we classify them, what are the different types. Then we'll move on to the rule of IUPAC nomenclature, right? So today we'll be just starting on with the significance of these compounds. So significance, if sucrose, that is the sugar what we eat, is also a polyhydroxy compound. So very important in our day-to-day life. Coming to many important compounds, we have phenol. Again is an antiseptic. Phenol is antiseptic. Then you have paper. Paper also have OH compounds. So there are many compounds which are polyhydroxy compounds, and they form a very important class in our day-to-day lives. So you just cannot escape. We always come across knowingly or unknowingly hydroxy compounds. So we'll just read how do we make it, how can we check out the reactivity, and what are the different types, right? So you can also write one more example, that is hexachloropene. Hexachloropene is a very important component of mouthwash, deodorant, etc. So all these compounds are very important. So that is why this chapter is very significant. And I've told you earlier, the organic chemistry is a very important branch. So less is eliminated from these chapters. So we are reading these chapters. So just coming to classification of alcohol, phenol and ether. So ether we'll do later on. First we will do the classification of alcohol and phenol. So let's start on with the classification of alcohol and phenol. So the first classification is like in haloalkanes, depending on the number of functional groups. So depending on number of OH group, you can either have a monohydroxy group like this, C2H5OH. You can see one hydroxy group, or you can have a very important alcohol like this. This is known as ethylene glycol. Then you have alcohol like this. Two bond CH2, 3 bond CH. This is known as glycerol. I have written the common names. So depending on the number of OH group, this is monohydroxy, this is dihydroxy, this is polyhydroxy. What is hydroxy? Hydroxy is OH group. So depending on the number of OH group, you can have these many types. Same as haloalkanes, is nothing different. You will have a rule to write the name. This is just common name that we have written. Right? Coming to the next. So this is depending on OH. Second is depending on the nature of carbon atom. So I have discussed this before also, but we will discuss it again because some of you find it difficult to trace out which is a primary carbon, which is a secondary carbon, which is a tertiary carbon. I keep repeating, primary carbon is that carbon which is attached to either one carbon or no other carbon. Secondary carbon is that carbon which is attached to two more carbon atoms, and tertiary carbon is attached to three carbon atoms. So depending on that, you will have primary alcohol, secondary alcohol and tertiary alcohol. So depending on this, you can have an alcohol like this, CH3. See, one carbon, no other carbon, and this is attached to it. So this is 1 degree. So this is a primary alcohol. If you have a carbon like this, CH2OH, and then attached to another carbon, CH3. One carbon attached to one more carbon. Again, this is 1 degree. This is primary. If you have an alcohol like this, the carbon to which you are attaching the alcoholic group, this carbon is attached to this carbon and this carbon. So the degree for this carbon will be 2 degree. We call it as secondary alcohol. Then we move on to, if you have a tertiary carbon, a carbon attached to 3 more carbon atoms, and this carbon is attached to OH. Such case, you will say that this carbon is a tertiary carbon and the alcohol is tertiary alcohol. Now again, what is very important is the rate of reactivity of all these alcohols would be different, and that is the reason why it is very important to know the degree of alcohol, whether it is primary, whether it is secondary, or whether it is tertiary. Same as haloalkanes, we have classified just what we have done. Instead of the haloalkane molecule, we have attached OH group. Coming to the next. This was the second. Third is allylic and vinylic alcohol. C double bond C. If at all you remember, this carbon attached to another carbon, and to that you have the functional group. Just fill all the valencies by hydrogen. CC double bond, the next carbon has the functional group, allyl alcohol. If the carbon has a double bond and to this carbon only you attach the OH. In that case, it will be vinylic alcohol. Right? So, allylic, nothing has changed in the classification. Only what we are doing is we are revising the classification, same as haloalkanes. Same way we are classifying, only instead of haloalkane we are attaching alcoholic, right? So that is, so we read about primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. Then we read about this monohydric alcohol, or monohydroxy alcohol, dihydroxy alcohol and polyhydroxy alcohol. Then we read about allylic and vinylic alcohol, right? Now, if we say the fourth type, the fourth type would be comprising of the position where you attach alcohol. So, in case of diol, this is fourth. In case of diol, what is diol? Diol is nothing but dihydroxy alcohols. So, if you have a dihydroxy alcohol, so you can see either you will have it like this. Say this is a geminal alcohol. This is a geminal alcohol. Why geminal? Because the 2OH group is attached on the same carbon atom. So like halides, we again have alcohol, geminal alcohol and vicinal alcohol. If I write like this, that the OH group on the vicinal carbon atom, we will call it as vicinal alcohol. Now in alcohol, one thing is very important. When we talked about geminal dihalides, there was no problem. Two halogen on the same carbon atom. But in this case, it becomes very unstable. And you know what? It will give you water. So instead of this, this will become aldehyde or ketone. So it will give you it will eliminate a molecule of water. So geminal alcohols are not stable. So that is why in alcohols we need to remind ourselves that geminal alcohols won't be stable. They will eliminate water to get converted to the corresponding aldehyde or ketone. Right? So this is another type. Now we'll moving on to the next one, that is phenol or aromatic alcohols. Coming to aromatic alcohols. You can write a different class, we call it aromatic alcohols. It can be having a side chain. We will call it as benzyl alcohol. I told you earlier the groups benzyl, benzyl, benzo, they were the common name. So you can have the three type of benzylic alcohol also. You can write like this. You can also write like this. One hydrogen, one carbon and OH, right? You can also have benzo group like this. C, C and C and this OH. Right? So benzyl alcohol, benzyl alcohol, benzo alcohol, right? They're the common names. So we'll just write the IUPAC name. So this common name is, they are all benzylic alcohol. So we write it benzyl alcohol. But benzyl alcohol is not the IUPAC name. If you have to write the IUPAC name, we always give more preference to the straight chain than to the ring. So we will write the name accordingly. So we'll just write the name. This group, write the name of alkane first. It is ethane. Drop the word E. To that you have attached alcohol. You can write one all or you can simply write all. Ethanol. And this first carbon has this group. This is phenyl. So one phenyl ethanol. Coming to this, the rule says we have to drop the E and put a on. So 1 carbon, 2 carbon. So this is our straight chain. We will start numbering. So you will write it as ethanol. Sorry, this was methanol. This is 1 carbon. This was phenyl methanol. Here it is 2 carbon, so this is ethanol, and first carbon has a phenyl. Coming to this, 1, 2 and 3. So you have propane, but you don't have it on the first carbon. You will write propane 2-ol, and then on second carbon you have the phenyl, 2-phenyl propanol. So all the benzylic alcohols we have written the name, right? So same will in this also, this will be the carbon first and second, so this will be 2-phenyl ethanol. So always when we start numbering the chain, we start it from one side, isn't it? So you have to write the number accordingly. Always give weightage to straight chain first and then write the number and the name. So all the benzylic alcohols I have named as per the IUPAC rule. So, and whenever you get confused with the common names, don't use the common name. It is always good to use the IUPAC name because the rules are fixed and there is no discrepancy in that, right? So make sure you use the IUPAC name. Then comes the next, that is, if phenol, then this is aromatic alcohol if you have it on the side chain. You can also have it on benzene ring, like this. So the IUPAC has accepted a name for this phenol. What we call it as? We call it as phenol. If you have 2 OH, like this, we call it as resorcinol. So this is all common names, so it's nothing, it is just common name. Hydroxyquinone. Hydroxyquinone. You feel like you can learn it, or you don't feel like, you can write the IUPAC name. So don't need to learn all these names. You can just write the IUPAC name in these cases. So they are all phenol and its compounds. You have 1 phenolic group OH, you have 2 phenolic group, like that, right? But if then we will move on to the next classification, benzylic alcohol, vinylic, the classification of alcohols and phenols. Now we'll be moving on to ether, classification of ethers. So just we'll move on to classification of ethers. Okay, it can be a symmetrical ether and it can also be a unsymmetrical ether. If I say symmetrical ether, that means the ether will have a ethereal oxygen and both the sides equal number of carbon. So if I write like this, 2 carbon, okay, it is very symmetrical. All the carbon you have to fulfill the valency and then write it. If I write unsymmetrical ether, 1 carbon on one side, it can be 2 carbon, but there are unequal carbon on both the sides. So we will call it as unsymmetrical ether, right? It can also happen that both the sides, the alkyl groups are the same. We will call it as simple ethers. If you have different group on both the sides, we'll call it as mixed ethers. So we'll just write that. So this can also be written as simple ethers. Simple ethers means you have both the sides, the common group. Unsymmetrical ether can also be written as mixed ethers. Why? Because you have different group on both the sides. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we'll just practice the nomenclature for ether and the rule for IUPAC and practice the writing the name of alcohols. So today we'll do that much only. So for ethers, the rule. So this classification of ether is over, just this much only. Symmetrical ether and unsymmetrical ether. And some cases you can have aromatic ether. If you have aromatic ether will be like this. You have a benzene ring and then you write O, and other side you can have a benzene ring or you can have a straight chain. In this case, this has got a name, anisole, accepted by IUPAC, anisole. So this is aromatic ether. So you can have straight chain ether, aliphatic ether, or you can have aromatic ether, same type of group on both the sides, symmetrical ether or unsymmetrical ether, right? Any compound, the name can be easily written using the IUPAC rules, and that is the most convenient way of writing the names. So we'll just move on to nomenclature of alcohol, phenol and ethers. So we have nomenclature of alcohol, phenol and ether. I'll write 5 examples because I've already told you the rule of alcohol and phenol. I'll write 5 examples. You'll cross check me with this with me all the examples if it is correct or not, and if you can do it on your own. Then if you are able to do it, then please go to NCERT and practice some more writing the name, because 1 or 2 nomenclature will always come in 1 marker or 2 marker. That is very important. So I'll just give you a few examples. Okay. CH3, 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 this OH. Then one more example, CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, CH2, CHOH and CH3. Okay. Let's try aromatic with phenol. This is a phenolic ring. You have OH and CH3. Okay. Then you have benzene ring and this OH and NH2. Okay. Then you have benzene ring, OH and NO. Okay. So we'll just practice few names. This, I've told you that you have to select the longest chain and start numbering from one side and drop the E and attach the word all. That is the rule. The rule is minus E plus all. That is the rule. So 1 and 2 and 3. So second carbon you have this and this. So we will just write 2-methyl. The OH will go with the parent name. So we will write propane, propane, drop the E, propane, drop the E and 2 all. In case of chain like this, start numbering the chain from that side where you have the priority group. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So you have 4-methyl, 4-methyl, and then you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexane. Drop the E to all. Coming to this 1, 2, 3. Why I put a 1 here? Because OH is higher in priority list. So this becomes 2-methyl and the basic name that is accepted by IUPAC is phenol. Coming to this, priority group is again OH. This is left as the side chain. So this will come in the beginning of name. So 1, 2, 3, I can 2, 3, 4. So it will be 3 amino phenol. Priority group is OH. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 nitrophenol. The problem would be if you have a group like this, if you have a higher priority group like this, COOH, and then you have OH. Now the numbering will start from COH. Why? Because this is higher priority group and this is OH. So 1, this is benzoic acid. This is benzoic acid. Now you have left out the OH. So 2 hydroxy. Right? So just keep practicing the name for alcohol and phenol. It will be fun writing the names because it is very good if you know the rule. You can keep on practicing. It is actually very nice to practice all these, and it is a real fun. So now we are moving on to the rule to write the name of ether. So for ethers, the rule says we write L-coxy-alkane. The rule says L-coxy-alkane. This also would be alkane, right? So now I'll just give you a few examples. If I have to write like this, CH3O, CH3 and CH3 like this. If I have to write a name like this. Now you see, this is 1, 2 and 3. So this is alkane is propane. And you are attaching on the second carbon this group. This becomes alkoxy. So this becomes 2-methoxy. So that would be the rule, right? So we will be just following these rules and name a few more examples. So just check out the name for 3-4 examples more. Okay. CH3O, CH3, CH3, CH3. This one. Then CH3, CH3, CH3O, CH3 and CH3, right? Okay. So we will just do these 2 examples. Now see the main chain. We have to find out alkane. So this is our alkane. So this is our main chain. 1, 2 and 3. On second carbon, this is a propane, isn't it? So I just write the name here. So this is a propane. But this is not only propane. On that propane you have attached a methyl also. So this is 2-methyl propane. So this is our parent chain. This alkane part is this. On this you have this alkoxy. On which carbon? Second carbon. So 2 pair you have this methoxy. Okay, let's see this one. This is our parent chain. And you have a second carbon, you have this group. Now if you want to write this, this is again a complex. We will number this also 1, 2, 3. So this becomes a propoxy, and this on this you have 2-methyl. So 2-methyl propoxy. Write in a bracket because it has a side chain. You are attaching it on the second carbon. 2. Second carbon पे ये लगा हुआ है, तो second carbon पे ये लगा हुआ है, ठीक? And this is the main chain. So we have written propoxy. We have made it alkoxy. Second carbon you have this 2-methyl propoxy is the name. Now what about this? The alkane is again 2-methyl, 2-methyl and this propane. That would be the name. So just practice the naming of ethers, alcohol and phenol. So next video will be starting on with method of preparation of phenol, alcohol and ethers, right?